We serve the underserved. 75% of our loans are to low-income
They went virtual
individuals.
with 10
and
employees.
I knew we needed to get more into the community, and we couldn't do that if they
They're
were
in
sitting behind
Indianapolis or
telephone.
Indiana somewhere.
And so that's how this started. If you have any questions, I'll preface right away. Any CEOs here, you can have a great idea, but unless you have a phenomenal team behind you to actually implement it, it's just a great idea. And so Heather Jones is the person you want to talk to for all of the great questions that you're going to have on the implementation. But we'll go ahead and jump in and talk about this. There was 5 key things that we had to look at. Very first was operations. It may seem weird to start a strategy with operations, but if you know that you don't have the technology to do it, it's not going to work. What I really want to get across is a $46 million credit union does not have a lot of technology, and you don't need it. And I'm going to show you how we did that. Secondly, we went to an advisory board and we asked them, does this make sense? Will the low income and medium wealth, will they be able to do this and adapt? And then we looked to our team and said, can we do this? And then our board final, after we knew everything made sense, we went to them and said, we'll prove to you that we can do this, and we will measure that. And then we went to our members. So here we go, real quick. First and foremost, we had to tally, and we had to just do it with pen and paper. Every member that walked in the door, what were the types of transactions they were doing? So we didn't have software or anything like that. So it was a little painstaking, but we found out 60% of our transactions were just simple check cashing and deposits. Now imagine what you probably already have in your shop that enables you to do those transactions virtually. Now imagine if you were able to transition just 1 or 2, or depending on your shop, how many of your tellers who are just taking those checks could be put towards income generating and community initiatives that could further the cause and the mission of your credit union. And so that's what we first decided was this makes sense. We need to stop just being order takers and start making change. Secondly, what are all the ways you can do this? So we literally just got all of our team into the boardroom, it was pretty easy with 10 people, and said, okay, how could you do this? And every week we have a team meeting, and we just said that, bring every transaction that you couldn't figure out how to do for that member virtually, and we're gonna find a solution. And my partner in crime right here, Heather, is a genius when it comes to figuring out ways to do it on a very small budget in a very short amount of time. And so in case you were wondering, we started this in 2018, pre-COVID. COVID for us was just another Tuesday, so we were fine because we were so engaged virtually. On our website at NorthParkCCU.org, we listed every single way that they had access to do everything that they needed to do. So our members, you wouldn't believe it, but when you go to the website, there are 9 ways, just with the little technology that we have, to be able to access how to do a loan payment. We wanted to meet our members where they are. That was so important. And what we found with low to medium income is that it is very hard to get to the branch. Number one, it's inconvenient hours. We're open when they're at work. People of low income, they can't afford to take off of work to go and do simple banking, let alone open accounts or do a loan transaction to apply for a loan. Secondly, they had struggles with branch transportation. They don't own cars, a lot of them, and there aren't buses in more remote areas that we serve. Thirdly, they're used to the traditional banking of being told no. And imagine that anxiety of walking into the branch, and some of our members, they would get dressed up to come in to apply for a loan, thinking, I've got to look a certain way, I got to sound a certain way. And imagine just easing that stress by being able to do it online. And lastly, accessibility. Yes, they're low income, but the Pew Research Group shows that a lot of these individuals are able to get mobile phones, and they're accessible to them. And then Wi-Fi is almost always available in public areas like restaurants and even in their workplace. So just to back up, our advisory board that we put together to ask the leaders of the other not-for-profits in our area, they said, yes, do this, we need this, we want this. And that reassured us that we were not going to underserve the underserved. From an HR standpoint, we knew that we were not going to be successful unless we had our team engaged. Most of our tellers none of our tellers had a college degree. One of them didn't even have a high school degree. She had no hopes of being able to be promoted within the organization. We sat them down and we said, every single one of you will get promoted when we go virtual. Can you imagine how excited you are to help educate and motivate members to do their transactions virtually? Again, your best team, they are the ones that are going to implement your strategies. They're the ones that make you successful. And our team was all in. Sometimes we had to calm them down to be like, okay, this person doesn't want to do it that way. It's okay. But that's what's so exciting about getting the engagement and the ownership of your team. They all got promoted. We were able to reallocate staff to marketing, 2 to lending, and then 1 to risk management. We are now able to hire top talent around the country. We are in the central part of Indiana. We have employees now from 7 different states, including Puerto Rico as well. So we actually go after the best of the best. I won't do it here, but at most conferences, I meet the best of the best and I say, you know what, come, work for us. And so it's really exciting, but I promise I won't take your employees today. And then our employees love it because the ones that live local, they save about 1 hour a day in commute, driving to and from work. That averages out to 11 days a year that you just gave your team member back. Imagine what that does for them. They love it. And then employee time, or I switched that was employee time. Employee savings, they don't have the gas. I don't know about your country, but our country, gas is about 3 times what it is typically. So I'm guessing from the heads you are as well. Also just the wear and tear on the car and going out to eat for lunch, buying work clothes, all of those savings. And then employee health, we have found that our employees are enjoying this so much more. They have more time to spend on mental and physical health for themselves because they have that additional time and that less stress of commuting to work. So once we had all of the buy-in that we knew operationally we could do it, we knew that our advisory board says that this does work for the people that we serve, and that we knew our team was all in, we went to the board and we said, okay, this works. Tell us now, what do you want us to do? It reduced operating expenses by $200,000 in the first 2 years. Since then, it's become even more. Our branches are 100% empty right now. And I should just preface real quick, all of those are going to be transitioning to community centers. We're going to be using our branches for free tax services, job interviewing skills, helping individuals get their tax identification number in our country. So things to actually serve the people that we serve beyond just financial services and partnering with our not-for-profits. And I'm being told I'm almost out of time, so I promise I'll hurry because I have a lot of respect for the next speaker. We are growing membership, and that is a good thing. Better business development and the branch usage. We did this simply by every single member that walked in the door. We said, did you know you could do this transaction virtually? We said the same thing again and again and again and again, and we showed them another way. We closed less than 20 member accounts. We had our less than 34 accounts closed. We had less than 20 complaints. Our first year, we grew loans by 80%. Our second year, we grew loans another 30%. And this is our 3rd year being virtual, and we are doubling our loan goals every single month. Our board is extremely happy. But I think it's important that you measure on those 3 things. What are the complaints? What are the account closures? And are you growing your direct loans? So this is our initiative. If you'd like to know more, you can visit our website that tells more detail at virtualbranching.com. I really appreciate your time. I will be speaking at the next session at 11:30. It says FinTech. I am not FinTech, but they invited me to talk. So if you want to hear some more, thank you.